If you do go four-wheel driving, odds on at some stage you are going to get stuck, and that's when you're going to need a recovery. There are two main types of recovery by definition: a solo recovery and a recovery where you're using another vehicle. Either way, you're going to need some recovery equipment like tread boards and a recovery kit like we have here. So let's quickly go through what a complete recovery kit will have. First up is your recovery bag. It should be tough, keep your gear protected, have everything you need, as well as being easy to carry. Most recovery kits will have three straps that many of you will have heard of. You've got your Snatch Strap for kinetic recoveries. You've got a tree trunk protector used to protect a tree during winches, and you've got your winch extension strap if your winch cable isn't long enough to reach the anchor point. But this kit has a fourth strap. This is what we call a stabilizer or an equalizer strap. Now, by equalizing, we mean that it's going to equalize the load across two separate recovery points. On most vehicles, these tie-down points should never be used. These aftermarket rated recovery points are what you should be using for recoveries. So to help spread the load across both chassis rails, these straps can be connected to both recovery points, and then the winch or anchor point connected to the center of the strap via a shackle to equalize or stabilize the load across both points. A really handy item to have, and it can be used for multiple uses. It can be used with the Snatch Block when you're doing a redirect, can be used to anchor a vehicle as an anchor point or as the winching point, and in really rare situations where you've got a vehicle that doesn't have a proper recovery point, something like this around the differential of the vehicle is a consumable item, far less expensive than a tree trunk protector and more able to be squeezed into smaller locations. So if you need a strap in an emergency situation that may get damaged, the Equalizer Strap is the one to go for. There are plenty of other things that come in a recovery kit. You are definitely going to need one of these, a Winch Damper. Now this is a safety device that's very critical, which I'll explain shortly to you. With winching as well, there may be an instance where you need a Snatch Block. Now this is going to improve the efficiency of your winch. In a straight line, it will double the efficiency, or you can use it to redirect the load if you need to pull on an angle in a certain situation. Shackles, whether they're bow shackles, D shackles or soft shackles, should always come with a rating, and you should have at least two of those in a good recovery kit. But there's one more item I like to carry, and that is a drag chain, which is ideal for anchoring your vehicle, dragging logs back to campsite for a fire, or even in some cases using as a redirect with a Snatch Block. One of the things I love most about four-wheel driving is solving problems, and being stuck, needing to be recovered is definitely an issue. We've got all the right gear and a winch on the front of this vehicle, so let's show you how easy, quick and safe it is to do a winch recovery. In any recovery situation, first of all, stay calm. Secondly, make sure the vehicle is safe and secure. Thirdly, get out and take a photo. Your mates are going to love it. And when it comes to recoveries, always wear gloves. That's something I always recommend. The next thing you need to do in a winching situation is identify your anchor point. In this case, we've got a nice big healthy tree right in front of us. It's within easy reach of the length of the winch cable, so let's set it up. Make sure your winch is engaged and power out a short distance to disengage your hook. Disengage your winch and free spool the cable out. With some winches, free spooling means you're not wearing your internal brake. Pull out enough winch cable to reach the tree, and don't do what I've done, which is forget the tree trunk protector. You can have a crack at this next time you're winching. Try and get it round the tree in one go. I love trying, but it never works. Close enough. Make sure there are no kinks or twists in your tree trunk protector. Where this gets to be a little bit tricky depends on the size of your hook. In some cases, getting one in is enough. I can't get two in there. And as you can see, that strap could actually get quite damaged if it's not within the hook correctly. That can be very, very difficult, and that's where threading it through and using only one eye can be a very efficient and still safe way to do your winching. If you've got a light winch and you need a little bit of extra length, this is a really safe and easy way to go. But in this case, there's still another way to do it. A bow shackle is a great way to bring your two loops together with plenty of space and have a nice clean area for your hook. Your tree trunk protector is the thickest strap in your set, and it's thick to make sure you spread the load across the tree. The last thing you want to do is ring bark the tree, which will actually kill it. Depending on the recovery and the situation in, you can also decide how high up the tree you want the recovery strap to be. Having the anchor point higher will help to pull the car up if especially stuck down low in a mud hole, or putting it around the base might be where you need it for extra strength and stability. Down in the base is good for the sort of situation we're in today. So a lot of people think that you don't need a winch dampener when you're running synthetic cable, but it's the hook and shackle, these metal components, that are going to cause all the issues if something goes wrong in this winching situation. So we definitely want to use the damper, and in this case we want to use it over this area where the metal is. So if anything goes wrong with the tree trunk protector, or if the cable breaks, all we're going to have coming in our direction is some soft synthetic cable and not a metal hook or shackle under a huge amount of load flying at a very high velocity. And trust me, with the forces involved in recoveries, if something does go wrong, this is a deadly threat. The whole idea of the damper is to add extra weight. So if anything goes wrong, it simply drops to the ground. Solo recovery is when you're stuck on your own with no other vehicle. You're going to use tread traction boards to get yourself out, or in this case, a winch. Whilst I've got myself stuck, all of my mates have racked off to go fishing. So this really is a solo recovery. And before you start winching, you've got to make sure that the area is completely safe, and that means getting anybody who was here out of the way, including the cameraman. So back up a bit, buddy. Seriously though, if you've got mates or bystanders around, make sure they are at least 1.5 times the length of winch cable that is out away from the vehicle, the tree, and the winch rope. The area is safe and clear, so let's take up the slack and get ready for winching. I'm going to be winching and driving, so run your cable over your bonnet. I like to hook this over my snorkel to make sure it's safe and secure. Tuck that in on your dash, get in and get ready to winch. Handbrake on, and you're right to pack up. Safely recovered. It's that easy.